Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your May 2024 horoscope. Let's get right into it. One of the main themes in the month of May for you has to do with the planet Pluto. Since January of this year, Pluto has been in your third house. And I don't have enough time here in this horoscope to get into a lot of detail about Pluto in your third house. So if you want to make sure that you catch a more detailed description, I will leave this live that I did recently. It goes through Pluto, through all of the houses. But for the context of this horoscope, Pluto in the third house has been asking you to speak your truth and asking you to consider the power that your words carry, that you shouldn't take them lightly because they can really have an influence on the ears that they land on. And the reason we have this theme coming up again in the month of May is because on May 2nd, Pluto goes retrograde. So any of the actions you have taken around this theme since January, you might be reflecting on them and you might be thinking whether they were the right actions to take. And if you could do it all over again, what would you do differently? Another key date for this story is May 3rd, when Mars sextiles Pluto. A second key date is May 20th, when Mars conjuncts the North Node. And even though on May 20th, there's no contact with Pluto necessarily, it's between Mars and the North Node, Pluto and the North Node are connected in evolutionary astrology, which is the type of astrology I practice. The lessons that Pluto teaches us, if we implement them in our lives, they can help move us towards the direction of the North Node. And for you specifically, what's interesting around this story is that Mars and the North Node will be conjunct in your fifth house. So I almost see this theme about speaking your truth, realizing the power your words hold, expressing itself in your creativity. It's almost as if you speak the truth with your dancing, or you make a painting, which is also a method of communication. You make a painting that really has an impact on others. You write a poem that carries some harsh truths, some harsh realizations, but that others really need to hear in order to be touched in a meaningful way. May 22nd and May 25th may also bring up themes around this story. This is because on the 22nd, the Sun trines Pluto, and on the 25th, Venus trines Pluto. The Sun and Venus will trine Pluto from your 7th house. So on the 22nd and 25th, the theme around expressing your truth takes a different direction. It's no longer about how you express it, about putting it in sort of your creative expression. But now it's more to do with your relationships because, again, the Sun and Venus are in your 7th house. Now the focus is more on expressing your truth in your relationships. A second major theme for you in the month of May is the relationship between your family, your home, and your routine. This is something that will come up through many different dates in the month of May. And this has to do with activations between your 4th and 6th house. It could express in lots of different ways. It could be that because things are a little bit rocky with your family or with your home right now, that makes it super difficult to maintain a good routine. Or because you are not able to maintain a good routine, you're sort of needing to put a lot of time and attention there, you're not able to show up as well for your family. May 8th is one of the key dates around this topic. We have a new moon in Taurus, during which Saturn sextiles the Sun. Saturn in your 4th house and the Sun in your 6th house. The 13th of May is another important date around this topic because Venus will sextile Saturn And then again, Venus in your 6th house and Saturn in your 4th house. This theme might come back up again towards the end of the month as Venus and the Sun leave your 6th house. They're also going to sort of have the conversation again with your 4th house, but this time with Neptune. As they leave the 6th house, they will form sextiles to Neptune on their way out. So while the first 2 dates when they're forming sextiles to Saturn might feel a bit more restricting in this area, the last 2 dates might feel a little bit more flowing and a little bit more about acceptance and love. Next, let's have a chat about your 6th house some more. Your 6th house is lit up in the month of May, Sagittarius. And this is because we have the Sun, Venus, Uranus, and Jupiter all in your 6th house. This means that your routine is front and center. Your health is front and center. The way you take care of your mind, your body, your nutrition, your workout routine is all front and center. Some of the key dates around this theme are May 13th, when the Sun conjuncts Uranus, May 18th, when Venus conjuncts Uranus and the Sun conjuncts Jupiter, and May 23rd, when Venus conjuncts Jupiter. So during those 2 weeks, from the 13th to the 23rd, give or take a couple of days, your health is front and center. Jupiter, Venus, the Sun, these are all actually wonderful planets to have in your 6th house. So it could be during these 2 weeks that it's so much easier, or it feels like things are just lining up for you when it comes to your routine. It's like you find the perfect gym that actually is like just around the corner from where you live, and they have all of the equipment that you like to use in your workouts. It's almost as if, another way this could manifest is you love to get up early in the morning, and now something changes with your work or with your relationship that allows you to do that even more easily. But because we also have Uranus in the mix, these changes might come suddenly and they might come out of nowhere. One day you're thinking, oh my God, like the closest gym I need to drive for is like 15 minutes away. The next day you realize, wow, there's a gym opening across the road from me. Towards the end of the month, you will find yourself shifting from your routine, from the focus on your health and your body, to more of a focus to your partnerships. The Sun will initiate this shift on May 20th when it enters the sign of Gemini, or your 7th house. May 23rd will be sort of an additional step towards that direction because we have a full moon in Sagittarius, highlighting that axis of your 7th and 1st house. And I feel like May 26th is sort of the final push into this relationship focus, because on the 26th, Jupiter enters your 7th house. Jupiter entering your 7th house is quite a big deal. Jupiter will be there for a whole year. So I'm going to do a live explaining all about Jupiter in Gemini, Jupiter through the houses. I will do that later in the month of May. If you want to make sure you catch it, then make sure you subscribe. But for the focus of this horoscope, Jupiter in the 7th house could manifest as you entering a new relationship, in case you're single. It could manifest as things flowing really nicely in your relationship, and a lot of abundance and just a sense of things around your relationships being amplified and expanded. So those are your main themes for the month of May, Sagittarius. Let me know down in the comments if you're excited for Jupiter entering your 7th house. I would also love to hear if there were any exciting things, or just in general your experiences with Jupiter in your 6th house. Thank you so much for stopping by, Sagittarius. I hope to see you again soon. Make sure you subscribe so you can catch all future horoscopes and other fun astrology videos. Bye for now.